Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good day to you. That's depending where you are in the world. I'm here live in London doing the nighttime devotion. We have the new devotional which I started yesterday for this year, 2025. It's called Christ Triumphant by Ellen White. The title for this, the second day of 2025, the new creation. Genesis 1:31, and God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day. How beautiful the earth was when it came from the Creator's hand. God presented before the universe a world in which even his all-seeing eye could find no spot or stain, no defect or crookedness. Each part of his creation occupied the place assigned it and answered the purpose for which it was created. Like the parts of some great machine, part fitted to part, and all was in perfect harmony. There was no disease. The vegetable kingdom was without taint of corruption. God looked upon the work of his hands wrought out by Christ and pronounced it very good. He looked upon a perfect world in which there was no trace of sin, no imperfection. But a change came. Satan tempted Adam, and he fell. He who in heaven had become disloyal and had been cast out made lying reports of God to the beings he had created, and they listened to his reports and believed his lie. And sin entered the world, and death by sin. When Christ saw that there was no human being able to be humanity's intercessor, he himself entered the fierce conflict and battled with Satan. The first begotten of God was the only one who could liberate those who, by Adam's sin, had been brought in subjection to Satan. The Son of God gave Satan every opportunity to try all his arts upon him. The enemy had tempted the angels in heaven, and afterward the first Adam. Adam fell. Satan supposed he could succeed in ensnaring Christ after he assumed humanity. All the fallen host looked upon this engagement as an opportunity to gain the supremacy over the Christ. They had longed for a chance to show their enmity against God. When the lips of Christ were sealed in death, Satan and his angels imagined that they had obtained the victory. In the death struggle, the Son of God could rely only upon his heavenly Father. All was by faith. He himself was a ransom, a gift given for the freeing of the captives. By his own arm, he has brought salvation to humanity. But at what cost to himself? The new creation talks about, it covers quite a lot just in that one devotion. It covers about God creating the heavens and the earth, the universe. When he created the earth, this world, and pronounced it very good. It talks about everything was very good before sin came to this world. But then Satan, it says here, Satan tempted Adam. I mean, going by what the Bible actually says, Satan tempted Eve, and then Eve offered the fruit to Adam. And he fell. And then all of humanity fell because of what happened between Satan and Adam and Eve. And really, there seemed to be nothing in this world that could help, because everyone who came from Adam was basically born into sin. So God had to, it says the Christ, had to enter the world. God had to take on humanity, had to take on the form of a human. He had to become human. He had to be born as a human and be 100% human, to live as a human, to think as a human, to be tempted as a human. And that was the only way humanity would have a chance to overcome Satan. And he did. But as Jesus, God in human form, still could not look to or rely on his own divinity. He still had to rely on his heavenly Father, just as we do now. And he did overcome, and thus proving we can too, by prayer, by supplication. We can overcome by his strength and by his grace. The second day of 2025, reading from Christ Triumphant, and he was and is, and we can be too. What do you think?